All right. It's that time again. Genesis. I think we're on almost 25. So that's good news. Remember, I'm Pastor George Borghardt. We're having a Bible study. We're going to have a little discussion between us. You can comment on live or you can comment on YouTube, and we'll get to it later. But we just want to have this. Gene, Linda, Bobby Joe, Cindy, Colonel Davis. All good. People coming in. Excellent. Got a couple of things we need to share, and then we'll be on our way. Cheryl, the Lord be with you. Good. Bye-bye, Thor. Bye-bye, buddy. That's a tired boy. He's having a fun go of it. And gonna get rolling. All right, and away we go. Hello, Matt. The Lord be with you. Terry Lynn. Oh, the great and mighty Finker in the house. Pastor Finker, are you taking Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week? Let me know. All right. Ooh, I was studying Revelation, not what I needed to be studying, which was Genesis. Hi, Eric. The Lord be with you. All right. We stopped yesterday. Judy, the Lord be with you. We stopped yesterday with Isaac about to get a bride. Abraham had sent his servant over back to his own land. He wanted a wife for his son from his own land, from his kinfolks. Isaac's second cousin, Rebekah, is the answer to that prayer. The servant prays, Lord, show if you are covenantly faithful, if you are faithful to your promises to your servant Abraham, then I'm going to plant myself by this well. When a girl comes up to collect water into her jars, I'm going to say to her, hey, can I have some water? She's going to put down her jar, but then she's going to say, I'll water your camels too. Rebecca comes up, does just that very thing. The servant ponders it, and then, who's your mom and dad? Oh, those are relatives of Abraham. And so he goes to their house, and before he eats, he tells them the story. And their response is, Rebecca's parents is, what does it matter what we think? God is behind this. They try to encourage him to stay. Hi, Beth. A little longer. Abide with us, fast falls the evening tide. We want 10 more days with her, but the servant is steadfast. I gotta get out of here. So he's like, well, let's ask Rebecca, and Rebecca says, I'll go. And that's where we stopped. And so they sent Rebecca and their sister and her nursing woman, interesting, probably the person who had raised her, and Abraham's servant, and his men. So they sent her away with her nurse and Abraham's servant and his men, and they blessed they baraked Rebecca and said to her, "Our sister, verse 60, our sister, might become, a thousand, tens of thousands, a thousand of tens of thousands. And may your seed possess, take possession of, inherit the gates of those who hate him. A big deal. It's a big deal. The blessing says who her kid is. God is behind all of this, working out your salvation, working out my salvation. Rebecca's kid is the promise. The promise continues. You'll be the father of many nations, Abraham. Through your seed, all nations will call you blessed. Count the number of the stars if you could count them. So shall your offspring be. Isaac. And then Isaac's offspring, Jacob. We're going to get to that, though. And so they say that, the gates of hell will not prevail against it. I was getting there. Matthew 16 is the fulfillment of this. The gates of Hades will not overcome the confession that Jesus is the Christ. That is such good news. Such good news. This is why it's important to read the Old Testament. I'm going to do a video short on this for tomorrow, but this is why it's important to do the Old Testament. Cindy or Erica or somebody from HT, could you post a link to the YouTube channel? The Old Testament is just not the book. Just not this book that you could skip to get to the New Testament. If you start the New Testament, then you are literally, if you read the New Testament, you are literally starting in the middle of the story. But tomorrow's video is short. We want to get to that tomorrow. All right. Verse 61. Then Rebekah, thinker, you should be the dean of theology for a National Lutheran Youth Organization. The Old Testament is the New Testament concealed. The New Testament is the Old Testament revealed. Hi, Suzanne. The Lord be with you. Better late than never. Rebekah and her young women arose, rode on camels, and followed the man. And thus the man took Rebekah, and he went on his way. Now, it's one thing having an arranged marriage. It's another thing when the arranged marriage works out like this. Here's what happens. Isaac had he had come from Bir Lahoi Roy and was dwelling in Negev. Okay, so remember, Abraham is behind this. Well, I'm sorry, God is behind this. Abraham has sent the servant in to get Rebekah to be the wife of Isaac, so that Isaac would not take wives from the Canaanites. Okay. Oh, I'm so excited. This is the best part. Isaac went out to, that's an odd word. So Isaac goes out to meditate on the field in order to so he goes out in order to, I don't like meditate. He's It's the verb means literally to have a conversation with your with to sort of to be talky. So Isaac goes out there in order to into the open field to have a he's having this. Luther has a whole thing on this, to rove about. See, you can't see this, but the meaning of this verb is uncertain. So we don't really know what the meaning of this word is. We have an idea. It can mean to go to and fro. It can mean to swim. It can mean to go about. I like the Septuagint on this one, which is to talk idly. So Luther says that he goes out and he has a conversation with God. That's what's going on. They have a conversation, God and Isaac. Isaac is praying, and let's see what the Vulgate says. 63. Isaac is praying. Well, that's where meditation comes from. It comes from the Vulgate. Isaac is praying. He's having a conversation. He's talking to God. And he goes out in the field to meditate. It's toward evening. And he lifts up his eyes and he sees there are camels coming. And Rebecca, the next verse, same verb, she lifts up her eyes. When she saw Isaac, she goes hopping off the camel. She is, this verb can mean to cause to fall off the camel. I hope that just simply means that she dismounted from the camel. So he goes, "Oh, what's that coming?" And she's like, "Oh, who's that man?" And as we had somebody sing yesterday, not me, I didn't sing it, this magic moment. So she says to the servant, who's the man walking in the field to meet us? The servant said, it is my Lord. And so what does she do? In an act of humility, she covers herself with her veil. Now, what does this mean? What does this mean? Well, let me tell you. First of all, Rebecca is just top shelf classy. She covers herself. She takes the, yes, they did it in the channel, Erica. They made reference to it, but she takes the veil and she covers herself, which is an act of humility. And this is still the practice in the Middle East today, that women cover their heads. But what is so very important about this is there's this moment, which is the heir, and the promise. Isaac is the promised child. God is going to be the God of Abraham, Isaac, and, well, Isaac's kid. And so she sees him, and he sees the camel. He sees the camel's like, ooh, something's going on. She's like, who's that guy? Oh, it's my master. Less is more. And if this moment gets you kind of right here, and it should. I mean, this is God working out his plan. All right? This is God working out his plan. When the church sees Christ, it goes like this. And I beat Aaron Finker to the comment. When the church sees Christ, this is how it is. Christ, the promise. The church, his bride. Isaac Isaac doesn't have concubines. Isaac doesn't marry again. Isaac marries Rebecca, and that's it. Isaac is down that his mama died. I'll call it a die. But this is such a gospel-y moment. This is such a gospel-y moment because there she is. There she is, the woman for him. And there he is, the promise. Her seed is going to stand at the gates of its enemies and overcome them. He's the promise. Oh, what comfort, what joy. And it's all about Jesus. This is all about Jesus. Did I say this was all about Jesus? All about Jesus. It's all about Jesus. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Don't spoil the story, Lestico. And the servant told Isaac, 66, all the words that had been done. Yeah, I read this Genesis account and I think my kids are never going to leave home. Isaac brought her into the tent of Sarah, his mama, and took Rebekah. And she became his wife, and he loved her. And so Isaac was he was Nacham. He was comforted after his mother's death. That's chapter 24. That's chapter 24. He was comforted. That's not Finger puts that in quotes. You know, I mean, yeah, he was comforted in his tent with his new wife. But I think that she's bone of his bone and flesh of his flesh. I think he was close to his mama. I think that after the whole, my dad almost sacrificed me, he was closer to his mom than his dad. Even though Lestico doesn't agree with me. But none of that matters, because all that really matters in this section is the promise. The line is going to continue. The promise is going to continue. And the promise is going to continue out of Isaac. Out of Isaac. All right. Good marriages get good euphemisms. Bad marriages get bad euphemisms. Now, if you thought that the picture was off Abraham, you were right. It moved on to to Isaac. But there's still a little bit more we need to know about Abraham. He took another wife, whose name was Keturah. Oh man, what I was reading the other day. I remember what Keturah's name meant. I'm gone blank. There's some discussion about this. Some folks not cool with this. They are not cool with this. I personally do not care, but a lot of folks are not cool with this because he's old and he takes a young wife and he has more kids and he's near death barely working. The stuff's barely working, and there are no blue pills back then. And with when Isaac is born, but now yet he finds another girl. I don't think that this is time sensitive, so it's not that this happens and then this. I just think that this is historic. He took a wife after. Some of the Jewish rabbis think that the Keturah is actually Hagar, but Luther doesn't think that, and I don't think that. I think Keturah is Keturah. She bore to him Zinran, Jokshan, Madon, Midian, Ishbak, Shua. And Jokshan fathered Sheba and Dedan. The sons of Dedan were Ashurim, Letushim, and Leumimim. Yeah, Lestico. This is how Abraham got over his wife dying. I don't really, we had this a couple of times, but I think he moved on. Yeah, right. I mean, that's, I was wondering, well, never mind. That's not going to work. So I'll find it later. It'll be fine. But again, the sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Enoch, Hanok, Abiddah, Eldah. All these were the children of Keturah. Abraham gave Isaac all he had. So, this business of these other kids that Abraham has, I guess he thought, I got to be the father of many nations. They don't get the stuff. They don't get the stuff. The stuff goes to Isaac. Isaac is the promise. So Isaac gets everything. And the other children, they were, there's an old Southern expression, treat them like a redheaded stepchild. The other children get nothing. He gives gifts to them, but he gives everything to Isaac. So to the sons of his concubines, again, I don't really, I'm done judging Abraham now. Abraham's done his stuff, and the idea that I'm going to look down on Abraham is just not going to happen now. Because, I mean, he's done what he's supposed to. He's done everything he's been given to do, and I'm just not going to. I'm not going to think about it. So to his concubines he gave gifts. While he was still living, he sent them away from his son Isaac eastward to the east country. Midian. I mean, there's some of these that you would recognize, but Midian is the only one. And Finker's comment is right. Further in the story, it seems that Midian is the only son who retained faith in Yahweh, considering Moses' father-in-law, Jethro. But that just might be an isolated case, but yeah. These are the days. Now, sending everybody away, except for Isaac, is again a way of securing for Isaac primacy. He sent Ishmael away. Nobody gets in the way. Nobody gets in the way of Isaac being the heir. This is about Jesus. Jesus for you. And so Abraham's post-Sarah exploits Whether you respect them, like them, or not, they don't matter in the scheme of things, because Isaac matters. Isaac's the focus. So, verse 8, he breathed his last. He died. He died. And Abraham died in his old age. And not just old age, but tov old age, good old age. And an old man full of years. And this is an interesting expression. He was gathered to his people, to his relatives. And I think this is a churchy way of saying he joined the saints. I think that's what this sort of says. He joined the saints. That's what he joined the saints. And so, but what we basically have here in this chapter is the episode of your favorite show, which is a moving episode, a transition episode. And all TV shows have this, because you have to get from point A to point B. Point B is the big deal, Isaac. Abraham, we still got a little bit left on Abraham just to find out how the story ends. And he takes another wife, has some more kids, but maintains that Isaac is the most important. He'll throw everybody away other than Isaac, which is the way of faith. Nothing else matters other than Jesus. Nothing else matters. Take they our goods, fame, child, and wife, these all be gone. The victory has been won. The kingdom ours remaineth. So you can see even in Abraham's later life, the faith's there. Yeah, that's true too. I'm just going with Luther on this one, Finker. This is Finker's take on it. Some of the super evil kings in 1 Kings and 2 Chronicles through there are said to have been gathered to their people. Yeah, Luther on this. That's just what I'm going on. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to put the best construction on it. I think this is the first time that this expression is used. All right. Just checking the Latin on that. All right. And then a very sort of touching thing. So Abraham, Isaac, and Ishmael, his sons. Not all the other kids. Isaac and Ishmael. Isaac and Ishmael bury him in a cave of Machpelah, in the open field of Ephron, the son of Zoar the Hittite, east of Mamre. We'll see Abraham again. Hi, Beth. We will see Abraham again on the last day. In fact, Abraham's bosom is referred to by Jesus in the parable of Lazarus and the rich man. The bosom of Abraham is eternal life. Lazarus goes to the bosom of Abraham. Lay on Abraham's tummy. He said, hey, Grandpa. Great grandma. Grandpa. Verse 11. Following the death of Abraham, Elohim God blessed Isaac. And Isaac went back and settled in Beer Lahai Roy. Okay, so we're going to take a break from Isaac just for a second to take a look at the 12 princes of Hagar's son Ishmael. Okay, this is the Toledoth of Ishmael. And remember, Ishmael is going to become a great nation himself. Even though God promises Isaac to be the guy, Ishmael is important too. So this is the Toledoth, the generations of Abraham's son, Ishmael. The one who Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's servant, bore to Abraham. Okay? And there are 12 of them, shockingly enough. Sons of Ishmael, named in order of their birth: Nebaioth, the firstborn of Ishmael; Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Dumah, Massa, Hadad, Timah, Jetur, Naphish, and Kedemah. Hi, Sue, the Lord be with you. 12 princes. 12 princes. He is himself a big deal. Ishmael is a big deal because God loves Abraham. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names by the villages and by their encampments. So this is just, I want you to just sort of take this into view for a second. There's one line that matters. There's one line up until this point with the promise. One line. Do you see his nose? Are you poking out your nose there, buddy? Can we get you to stick your head out? Nope. He stuck his nose out. I didn't imagine that, did I? All right, so there's one line. One line. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. From Ishmael comes 12 princes. Now, Jacob's going to have a lot of kids, but this is just the history of the Ishmaelites, the Arabs. These and they're known by their tribes and their villages and their encampments. These are the years of Ishmael's life, 137. He breathed his last and died and was gathered to his people. There's that expression again, which we've picked up. Now, second use. I do not think that Ishmael did not believe in Yahweh. I believe that Ishmael believed in Yahweh, and so Ishmael joins Abraham with God's people. They settled from Havilah to Sur, which is opposite Egypt in the direction of Assyria. He settled over against all his kinsmen. So everywhere Ishmael goes is trouble. Everywhere the Ishmaelites go is going to be trouble. (36) 19. Oop, that's the time. 19. These are the Toledoth of Isaac, Abraham's boy. Abraham fathered Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel the Aramean of Padan Aram, the sister of Laban the Aramean, excuse me. So the Toledo, Isaac. So now we're going to start a new section. So we had Abraham, and now we had Ishmael. What happened with Ishmael, which not as important about this Toledoth, this generation. So Isaac, Abraham's son, marries Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, and Laban's brother. We're going to get back to Laban. Laban's like a roach motel. You go in, you can't get out. Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife. Isaac prayed to the Lord, entreated. Luther thinks prayer is weak for this. 21. Let me see what the Septuagint says. And Luther launches into a discussion of ask, seek, knock. God is pestered by Isaac's persistent prayers. That's the way Dr. Luther sees this. So his wife is barren. Seems to run in the family. His wife is barren, like Sarah was barren. And so Isaac prayed. You've got to believe that Isaac prays with the faith to know that the thing could be laughable and God would still do it. After all, Isaac's name means he laughs. So Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife because she was barren. Yes. Barrenness points to the virgin birth. So Isaac begs the Lord because she's barren, and the Lord hears the begging, and Rebekah, his wife, conceives. Woot woot. Now, it's a good place to stop. I want to stop here because I want tomorrow to be about the boys, their birth and everything. And so before you leave, remember, there's still time to register for the Higher Things virtual conference, August 6th and 7th. You can go to higherthings.org/conferences and you'll see everything. Great speakers, just a great speaker list, from Chris Hull from Zion Tomball to Harrison Goodman, who you've already learned to love, Pastor Finker's teaching, Fisk and Roseborough and Matt Richard, and just a bunch of great speakers. And worship and just fun. We're going to just have a blast. Go to higherthings.org/conferences and take a look at it. And we'll see tomorrow with Isaac and company. Isaac and his wife and their kids, who are like going at it, even in the womb. I'm Pastor Borghardt, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.